Receipts and payments account. It is similar to cash book but not cash book. Okay, means treatment is done in the similar way, but we cannot call it a cash book. Why? Because what happens in cash book, we record the entries on daily basis or as per dates, but here we take the summary of cash, and when we say cash here we include bank transaction as well, right? So here it is a summary of cash receipts and payments during an accounting period, right? So we take total receipts and total payments from the cash book, and in cash book we find separate entries date wise. Okay, features. What are the features of receipt and payment account? That yes, sometimes it comes in one mark question, that what is the nature of receipt and payment account. So the nature of receipt and payment account is real account. Okay, because it deals with cash, or we, according to modern classification, we can keep it under the category that is asset account. Another feature is basis of preparing. So it is prepared on the basis of cash, but remember, when we say cash, we include bank as well. Capital and revenue. Here, in case of receipt and payment account, both kind of expenditure are recorded, are mentioned. I repeat, capital as well as revenue expenditure both are recorded in receipt and payment account. Okay, period. All respective to current, previous, next year. Means, let's take the example of one expenditure, means salary. Say for example, we have paid salary for current year, and as well as we have paid some salary in advance. So both salary will be recorded here. Similarly, if we have paid salary related to some previous year, so that will also be recorded here. So this system is applied in both case, in expenses as well as in income, right? Now let's talk about opening and closing. So cash in hand, cash at bank in the beginning and at the end as well. So when we start preparing receipt and payment account, we take the opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank, and we close receipt and payment account with the closing balance of cash in hand and cash at bank. Adjustments are not made in this account at all, right? Outstanding expenditure, prepaid expenditure, accrued income, unearned income are not mentioned here at all. Purpose. What is the purpose to prepare it? To show amount received and paid under various heads during the accounting period. So we get the comprehensive information by preparing this. So as we have discussed features in very brief, similarly we are going to discuss the difference between receipts and payments account and cash book in brief only. In detail, the things can be read from the books also. So there are few bases. The very first base, on what base the receipt and payment account is prepared? It is prepared on the basis of cash book. Means in an not for profit organization, we need to prepare cash book as well. Only on the basis of that we can prepare receipt and payment account, right? And if we compare cash book, then cash book records each transaction of receipt and payment separately. Period. Receipt and payment account, like I told you, it is prepared at the end of accounting period. Okay, and cash book is written on daily basis. Date, yes, transactions are not written date wise here, because as it is prepared at the end of the year on a single day, and here transactions are recorded date wise in cash book, right? And in receipt and payment account we see that this is prepared only by NPOs, means not for profit organization, but cash book is prepared by NPOs as well as by the profit earning organization, means by all organization cash book is prepared. So now let's move on to another difference point, that is side. There are two sides in receipt and payment account, but these are known by the name receipt and payments. But in cash book, these are known as debit and credit sides, right? Now ledger folio, we used to have in cash book ledger folio column, separate column for that, but in receipt and payment account there is no such column. So these are the few differences between receipt and payment account. These can be asked in examinations for 1 marks and all. Let's have a look at the format of receipt and payment account. Okay, let me tell you that this is the format when you are going to experience the questions. So maybe possible that all the items are not given in the question, only a few items are given, but as this is the format, we have to understand each and every item in detail. Okay, however, here I am not going to get into the detailed meaning of every item, but here we'll be talking about the treatment of that item, right? Okay, so let's see how we start. So receipt and payment account of, here you can put the name of organization for the year ending. Here you can mention the month, date as well as year. Let's have a look in receipt side. So to balance BD, cash in hand, cash at bank. Like I told you that beginning balances of cash in hand and cash at bank are mentioned here. Then you can see the heading is there, revenue receipt. This heading is there just to make you understand, but when you are going to prepare the question, then you need not give this heading revenue receipt. Directly you can write down to subscription. Okay, subscription means income for not for an NPO. Okay, entrance fees, general donations, granting aid, sale of old newspaper, interest on investment, dividend, locker rent receipt, sundry receipts. Here you can see these all are income and these are revenue receipts. Okay, now let's see the payment side. What are the revenue payments? Yeah, one more thing is mentioned here at the top, by balance BD. Like I told you that when the expenses are more and income is less, then the balance of the cash book is credit, and that is known as overdraft. So the overdraft is being visible by bank column of the cash book, then you can mention here by balance BD as bank overdraft, right, if it is given. So now let's talk about revenue payments. So salaries, rent paid, electricity charges, postage, rent and taxes, insurance, advertisement, telephone charges, entertainment expenses, audit fees, repairs, upkeep of ground, conveyance charges, newspapers and periodicals, office expenses, gardening expenses, sundry expenses. Mean all the expenses come here, but remember of revenue payment. Now, like we studied about the receipt and payment account, it includes both revenue as well as capital expenditure and revenue as well as capital receipt. So capital receipts will be mentioned here, like life membership fees, donation for a specific purpose, legacies, endowment fund, sale of fixed assets, sale of investments, receipt for specific purpose or fund, interest on a specific fund investments. Okay, but here in we can see in the payment side as well, capital payments means capital expenditure, fixed assets, investments, repayment of loan. Okay, now at the end, then we try to balance this account. So if the payment side exceed the receipt side, then we get balance as overdraft. But generally what happens, the receipt side exceed the payment side and we get by balance CD, that is the positive or debit balance in cash book or cash at bank, and then we forward this balance to balance sheet directly. Here I have mentioned here in the limitation of receipt and payment account that it does not show expenses and incomes on accrual basis. We learnt it as well in the receipt and payment account feature that it includes expenses and income on cash basis only, right? Whether it is related to current year, previous year, next year, but if it has been paid or received in cash, cash has been given or received, only then it will be recorded here. On the basis of accrual, it will not be recorded here. Okay, like I gave the example of electricity expense, that you have consumed electricity but payment has not been made, so that expense of electricity will not be mentioned here. Here only up to the payment made will be mentioned. I hope you have understood that. Now another is does not show whether NPO is able to meet its day-to-day expenses out its income or not. Right. So it does not show at all that it is meeting its day-to expenses or not. It is just a summary of payment and receipt. Okay, because if the payments are exceeding receipts, definitely you understand that the position of the NPO is not so good. But this is really not the true picture. True picture will be clear when we see the balance sheet of that. Okay, so it does not clear out the true picture. So this is what for limitation. So after learning the theoretical concept of not-for-profit organization, we have learned everything in detail. Now let's move on to numerical section. Right. So as per the CBSE syllabus, however, it is not mentioned in the syllabus that preparation of receipt and payment account questions can come in the examinations or not. Okay, but even then, we need to learn how receipt and payment account is prepared. So here I am taking one question that you can see on your screen. So we will prepare receipt and payment account for this question. Fine. So as I have explained you the complete format, we will follow that format only. So as many information are given here in this question, present question, we will be utilizing that and preparing our receipt and payment account. See how. Very first we will give the heading receipts and payment account of, what is the name here? Chetna Club. You'll have to mention here the name of organization for the year ended 31st December 2019. So this is the format to attempt the question. This is the receipt side. This is amount column. This is payment side. And this is again amount column. Okay, so very first we need to start the question with balance of the cash. So in present question, the balance BD rupees 5,000. Here we will mention all the receipt and here we will mention all the payments. Okay, so we can see in the question that subscription. So there were 300 members and every member was to give 15 rupees per head. Fine. So, but the question says that 25 members out of 300 members did not pay subscription. So we subtract 25 from 300, we get 275. So 275 members paid subscription as per 15 rupees per head. So here we can mention 275 multiply rupees 50. How much it comes? Now, the question mentions that as well, that there were 5 members who paid subscription in advance for next year. Like I told you while I was explaining you the feature of receipt and payment account, that whatever amount has been received in cash, whether related to this year or next year or previous year, right? So here we can see that only amount related to this year has been received this, and related to next year has been received this. That's why we are mentioning here 4,125 and 75. Another item, that is salaries. 300 per month. On the basis of 300 per month, salary has been paid up to November month. Means salary has not been paid of 12th month, that is December. Means rupees 300 multiply 11. We get 3,300. Okay, like I told you that only amount paid, means for which cash has gone from our pocket, will be mentioned here. We have received the services, may have received the services of 12 month as well, but we are not mentioning here, right? Okay, now let's move on to another item, that is rent. Pay attention here. Rent has been paid till March 2020, and we are making the question up to 31st December 2019. It means 3 months rent has been paid in advance as per 150 per month. Okay, so we can say 12 months related to this year, and 3 months related to next year. So we need to understand, like I told you, whatever amount has been paid, whether it is related to this year, current year or next year. Here we can see these 12 months are related to this year and these 3 months are related to next year. But amount has gone from our pocket, cash has gone. That's why it has to be mentioned as payment here. Now let's move on to another item. Now another item is furniture, and furniture is the capital expenditure, we know. Okay, so for furniture 1,000 amount was given, but by the end of December we see only furniture worth rupees 150 has been purchased. But amount has been given means money has gone from our pocket. So we'll have to make entry for complete 1,000 by the name of furniture here. And as this is the expenditure, it will be mentioned in the payment side by furniture. Complete 1,000 rupees. Understood the point? Another item is miscellaneous expenses. So miscellaneous, the point, you read the point again. What is the point given there? That miscellaneous expenditures are 1,000, out of which 150 has not been paid yet. It means only 850 has been paid. Here we can subtract 1,000 minus 150, that is 850. So only 850 has been paid till now, and we have already learned that the amount which has been paid from our pocket will be mentioned here. So by miscellaneous, or you can write the word sundry expenses, only 850. So now you can check that all the entries have been made here or not. Okay, you can reread the question and check all the items have been mentioned here or not. Okay, now it's time to balance this. We need to see that which receipt or payment is having more amount. So separately we'll have the total of these. Very first I'm totaling this because I can see here having an idea that that is having much amount. Okay, so that is 9,200. 9,200. Now from this 9,200 we'll subtract after totaling this all. That is 5, 5, 10. 1 carry 4, 2, 6, 6, 8, 40. Carry 1, 4, 2, 6, 7. So that is 8, 1,800. So we mentioned 1,800 here by what? By the name of by balance CD. That is what? Cash in hand. In the beginning we had cash in hand 5,000. We received this much amount, and after that we made this much payment, and we receive right now, we get 1,800 at last. So this is all for today. So receipt and payment account can be prepared in the same way. In comment section I will post PDF file related to some more questions so that you can practice. Thank you for today.